John here. Today I'll be talking about Iran. So, quick little summary on what's going on. Iran and Israel were recently seen flinging stuff at each other. Israel dropping bombs with their planes. Iran using their drones and missile technology against Israel, and them going back and forth like a game of badminton. Iran's pissed off at Israel for killing all their nuclear scientists and trying to wipe out their nuclear capability and taking out military leaders. And Israel's pissed that Iran has been trying to wipe them off the face of the planet through proxies and directly for the past donkey number of years. So both sides have a axe to grind with each other. So most recently, the complaint with Iran is they're getting really close, or we're getting really close, to being able to enrich uranium and create a viable nuclear weapon. They already have the missiles, they just need the bomb. And rightfully so, the West does not like that, not one bit. Again, they are one of the largest state sponsors of terrorism, if not number one state sponsor of terrorism. Every single Hollywood movie talks about a Bond villain getting a hold of a doomsday weapon, and James Bond and the other agencies do everything within their power to make sure that doomsday weapon doesn't actually end up in the hands of the bad guy. This is no different. Obviously, in the past, you've seen both the Trump and Biden administration try to rein Israel in from attacking their neighbors. But in this circumstance, Trump kind of let it flow. And we saw a lot of Iranian nuclear scientists get wiped off the face of this planet, as well as other military leaders and key figures pertaining to that nuclear program in Iran. And that was then all followed by the United States demonstrating its air superiority by blowing up Iran's nuclear facilities. Now, a little bit of background. Iran is one of the top state sponsors of terrorism, if not the number one state sponsor of terrorism. Now, what is a state sponsor of terrorism? Very simple. It's a government that supports terrorists. And I don't want to get into the semantics of, well, the US is also a state sponsor of terrorism because they do all these things, or Israel, or this or that. I'm not getting into that. I'm talking about there's a list. Iran is on that list. They're a state sponsor of terrorism. Now, you might be asking, what terrorist organizations have they put their flag behind? Well, have they put our US dollars behind? And we'll get into that a little bit later. Well, they support groups like Hamas, which is a terrorist organization, Hezbollah, which is also a terrorist organization out of Lebanon, the Houthis in Yemen, they support them, and we're supplying weapons directly to the Houthis to attack both civilian ships and US military ships. And they were a major supporter of the Shia militias in Iraq. We dealt with them all over the Middle East, and without getting into too much detail, they're very active in trying to kill Americans, both domestically and abroad. Now, imagine giving them a nuclear weapon. Nobody wants that, except maybe Iran and a few select idiots online. Now, you're probably asking, well, okay, well, that's just the Middle East. What other places have they been involved in terrorist attacks? Well, I'll just name a few of the countries. You've got Albania, Denmark, Argentina, Bahrain, Iraq, Afghanistan, France, Israel, not a surprise, Kenya, the Netherlands, Sweden, Thailand, the United States, and Venezuela. Now, obviously, their involvement in attacks in those different countries varies in flavor, in size, and contribution. Now you're probably asking, what are some of the attacks that they were involved in? Well, you have the embassy bombings in Kenya and Tanzania. You have the USS Cole, 9/11, and the Riyadh compound bombings, to name a few of Iranian military infrastructure's work. Now, again, why would you want to give a country like that nuclear weapons? Yes, North Korea has nuclear weapons and has for a while. We should have intervened, but now we can't. But they generally keep to themselves, and they saber rattle, and they do their thing, but really, they're all right. The Hermit King just wants to stay the Hermit King. Again, why would we want to give a Bond villain a doomsday weapon? So what we saw very recently was a demonstration of American air superiority. Earlier this year, Trump's DoD, led by Pete Hegseth, launched a joint operation to bomb Iran's nuclear facilities. We saw 6 B-2 stealth bombers equipped with bunker busters fly to Iran from Missouri and back. We also saw 4th and 5th gen fighters, or escort aircraft, whatever you want to call them, to protect those B-2 bombers, as they suspected that Iran was going to have surface-to-air capabilities that would threaten our B-2s. They were wrong. Iran didn't get a shot off against any of our aircraft, let alone Iran didn't even know we were there. And mind you, these are 4th and 5th gen fighters. It's not surprising that they didn't see the B-2s, but I thought they'd probably see an F-15 or an F-18 show up on their radar, but they didn't, apparently. Now, very successful operation. We stopped the Bond villain from getting the Doomsday weapon. All is great in the world. That's a very granular way to think about it. This actually has much larger ramifications, both within Iran and externally to Iran. So let's talk about some of the other effects that this had. One, Iran has learned that it exists because the US allows it. That's it. They do not have any capabilities that can stop us from wiping out their military capability. We could have kept going. We could have bombed their airstrips, bombed their airports, took out all their military leaders, and there wasn't a single thing Iran could do about it. Khomeini learned that he lives because Trump allows it. We could have bombed Khomeini, who's the Ayatollah, the supreme leader, at any point in time. Now, let's expand a little bit outwards from Iran. Let's start with Russia. Russia obviously supplies, from what I could gather online, supplies some of the more modern anti-air equipment. And Russia's defense industries learned that their anti-aircraft capabilities can do bumkiss against US air power. That's a very scary message that the Russians now have to come to terms with. Actually, any foreign adversary, both directly and indirectly, have to come to terms with that the United States air power is so far ahead of everyone else that their defense capabilities likely can't do anything to stop it. Maybe, give them the benefit of the doubt, maybe they shoot down 2 or 3 of our aircraft. We got plenty more. We have the largest air forces in the world. And I'm including each branch of our military separately. I think our US Navy and US Air Force separately are within the top 10 air forces in the world. As you've seen, we've tried to avoid direct long-term conflicts. Specifically with Iran, we went in there, bombed them, and left. And Iran, at least for the moment, learned their lesson and they're back at the negotiating table from what I can see. Or they're at least coming to terms with the fact that there is no leverage and they can either accept the carrot that is being offered by the current administration or they'll just continue to get the stick until they take the carrot. Again, the geopolitical ramifications are massive. The strength through peace foreign policy strategy that the Trump administration has been talking about, they finally got to demonstrate the strength portion in a real world scenario. Now, I don't know where we go from here. It sounds like Israel and Iran still want to duke it out a bit. I say let them, not our fight. We went in there, took out the doomsday weapon from the Bond villains, and we can go on our merry way. Thank you for watching my rant. If you like this video, like, comment, and subscribe. Go check me out on my other socials. If you want more content like this, let me know in the comments below. I'm John. Thank you for watching. Cool, I think that's it. There we go.